Sometimes survival pays the bills while the dream waits. Welcome back to Creative Struggles. I'm Najala, and today we are going to be joined with an actor who is balancing a regular job while building momentum through stand-up comedy, hosting events, and learning how to pivot without quitting. If you've ever wondered what it means to pause, expand, and still believe, this one's for you. So, without further ado, let me welcome the dog, Doniesha. Round of applause. Come on in. Come on in. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's get straight into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. I like to do the grind report. So what the grind report is just simply something that you may have booked, any gigs, any accomplishments, anything you feel that you have done throughout the week that you feel good about.
So this week I would say have been applying to gigs, of course,
Of
as we all
course.
do. But also, I've been focusing on building my side hustle, which is my business I have with my mom and my sister. We're called the Dill Queens, and when God has something planned for you, He just kind of push you into it. So
Yep.
I was blessed with a lot of merchandise for free, actually.
Amen. Do it.
I was like, oh, you answered prayers quick. Now I have all this merchandise, and it was really such a blessing. So I just been trying to figure out how to sell these things, how to move this inventory. Every step you take in this field of like following your dreams, you have to learn. It's a learning process, especially like if you never did it before. So I'm just learning about all the different platforms and things like that, and then also alongside with working on my brand as well. So I posted a podcast episode as well for my podcast. Thank you for inspiring me. I was really inspired by you. And I was like, see, Najala is doing it. You could do it too, Doniesha. Look at her.
Yes.
So
we all can do it.
yes, and I really do believe that God puts people in your life and around you to motivate you and to teach you things. Sometimes we're praying and we're looking for answers, and sometimes God is like, it's right there.
Yeah.
So I did my podcast this week, my business, and I'm here with you doing podcasts, and every day I'm just filling myself with positivity, saying good job for even applying for those gigs.
Yeah.
Because it can be very discouraging.
Very much so. I'm going to piggyback off of that because, like you said, you never know what people are putting in your life and like for what reason. You see a lot of people doing things like, man, I think I can do that too. Like, if they can do it, I know I can do it too,
Absolutely.
and not to be, oh, well, how can they get it?
It's not that.
It's not even that. It's more so like, wow.
Encouraging.
So that's good. That's good to hear. I love to hear. I would say my grind report for the week, y'all know me, is real, of course.
Always grinding.
Always grinding, but I feel like I need to take a step back from one of the jobs. I know I said this in last season, but it's just becoming a little overwhelming. And my supervisor actually said, you haven't really been booking anything, huh? Because I feel like you're always here.
Yeah, that's not good when other people are noticed.
So that did something to me. I didn't like that because it's like if she's noticing, oh my God.
That goes back to when God puts people in your life. Sometimes, they're there to motivate you.
Yeah. So I think this year is all about just being motivated by others and then just going from that. I think that it doesn't have to be a competition. I feel like, truly we're in competition with ourselves. It's usually what's going on within. And we always have to start within ourselves and then work our way out of that.
Absolutely.
So,
I don't want to jump too far ahead, but like for me, I get really overwhelmed easily.
oh yeah.
Like I get so overwhelmed sometimes. Like I just can't.
We're on to How did we meet?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
We met in acting class. We were both going to an acting class in North Hollywood. And from there our friendship just blossomed. And I feel like we really, at least for me, from my perspective, we really encourage each other. And we vibe really good together.
Yeah.
Much appreciated friendship.
Yeah, same, same. I'd say that as well. I remember in acting class, you were doing stand-up
Yes.
comedy. How has that been going? Have you done any stand-up recently?
Honestly, I took a break from stand
Mhm.
up. I wouldn't say that I quit because I still sometimes feel myself like wanting to do it and things like that. And I even went to an open mic by my house, but it was so many people. And I was in this space of my anxiety was so high. I was battling like depression and things like that, that I couldn't make myself laugh. So how am I going to get up there and make someone else laugh? So I took a break. But while I took a break, I was still going to stand up. I was still talking to other comedians. And of course, they're like, just do it. Just push yourself. Just get up there. One of the comedians that I met, she is so awesome, so motivating. I never forget what she told me. She's like, growing up, her stepdad had in the restroom Evil Knievel. The quote on the picture states, "Do you think I wasn't scared?" So even though he was scared, every time he jumped, he still did all of those dangerous jumps.
Yeah.
So she was telling me, even though you're scared, just push past it, get up on that stage and just tell your jokes. But I was like, I don't got no jokes right now. So I took a break. I wouldn't say I quit because it's something in me that's still calling me every once in a while. But as of right now, I haven't done too much I haven't done any comedy actually.
I feel like a lot of comedians make their trauma into a joke. Because
Absolutely.
eventually you have to laugh about the stuff. Probably
Absolutely.
not in that moment, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But eventually you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? That was absolutely insane. How could
This happened? And usually that's what it is. Comedy is your life story. But like you said, you have to be able to laugh about it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready to laugh about it because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm still going through it.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out how to heal from this. But like I said, I do see myself getting back out there and doing it again eventually.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's not a race at the end of the day. It's a marathon. You have
Absolutely.
to run your own race. You are not running anybody else's race but yours.
Yes.
Do it at your own pace.
Absolutely.
Because if you try to do too much all at once, you're going to burn out. You want all of these things to happen. You want to have a leading role, booking constantly, so much to the point where you got to turn people away.
Where you got options.
You have options, but sometimes those options may not be the best. So you have to weave those things out because sometimes you rush into things, it may not be all what it's cracked up to be.
I do want to say something on that because I want people to know, especially when you first start out. So think about when you first started out. You were just doing anything, everything.
Yep.
I mean, like both of us have done fashion, all kinds of things just to be out there, to put yourself out there, to get that experience, to network, to be in front of the camera. Because all of it is, like you have to learn to get used to it.
Yeah.
But I do want to encourage people, like once you get that experience of being out there and like trying different things, don't settle for groups and environments that make you feel like you don't fit into the puzzle. Because sometimes you will keep going because you want to get that experience, but then that will affect you. You know what I'm saying? That will affect you emotionally, mentally, and things like that. And you definitely want to surround yourself with people that uplift you, encourage you, and motivate you to be the best version of yourself. And I think be cautious, especially in this industry, of people who will take advantage of you if you let them.
Yes. Please.
You have to be strong, remember who you are, stand in your morals, and, get that experience. But once you get it, don't feel stuck. It's okay to say no. So I definitely want to say that.
Yeah. And so, like, that's going into the reality of just having a slow season. In this industry, your seasons fluctuate. You could be having nothing booked for a year, 2 years, or you could have a season where you're booking constantly. You have those dry spells. There's emotional tolls of no's. You hear so many no's where it's just exhausting. You're questioning your self worth.
And then here comes life along with that.
Here come a big ass bill.
Yep. And you're like, darn.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay you when I get it.
It's just that whole working a regular job thing. I feel like if anybody knows what that feels like, that's any and everybody.
And you got like 2 regular jobs.
But specifically, I feel like as creators, as entrepreneurs, starting out, or you're starting a new business.
Yeah.
Where are you getting the money from? How
Yeah.
are you going to support yourself and the dream? And sometimes, unfortunately, you kind of have to take that step back from the dream, not going too far away from it, but it's like, well, I have all these bills. I have car note, rent, shoot, light bill, electricity, all of the things that you have to pay for by yourself. And you have this regular job where they're not willing to give you time off.
No.
They're not willing to accommodate your personal schedule. They don't give two rats tails about you, honestly. They just need you to be there to do the work. How do you work this job to make the money to pay bills?
Yeah.
But also, on the other hand, following your dream, making time for your dream, carving out the time sometimes you don't even have.
Yeah.
To get what you need to get done. It's just very hard.
It's not enough hours in the day.
It's not.
Or like sometimes you'll have to choose, do I want to go to bed early and wake up early and try to do this before I have to do the things that I need to do? Am I going to stay up late and just not get sleep tonight? Like there will be times that has to happen when you don't have a job that's flexible. But I encourage anyone, even myself, find a job that is flexible. Find a job that isn't too demanding of you, because if it's not so demanding, you won't feel so tense either. Because when you're working really hard and you have to do all these things, it makes you tense as well. But if you have a job that's like, my boss is relaxed, you know what? My boss don't mind, as long as I do this, I can actually practice my script.
Yeah.
I told my boss, hey, is it okay if I go to lunch a little bit early because I have an audition at 11?
Yeah.
I know I usually go at 12:45, but 11, can I? And they say, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, that's a dream, right? But they're really hard to find. But I would encourage anyone who's really serious about their like acting and they feel like they want to give it more time, definitely find that job that is flexible. Find that job that wants you to be the best version of yourself and not the best version of yourself for their company's dreams, because
There's
that's
a
a
difference.
big difference. So definitely a flexible job is the way to go.
Yeah, I also think finding a job within your passion. Me personally, it's been very hard trying to find an acting job. And what I mean by that, personal assistant, PA, being on set just so I can be there and watching and learning. I can't even get that type of job. Lord, I don't know what to do.
They want experience.
Experience being a personal assistant. All you
can
gotta
just
do is listen to somebody.
follow the directions. But how much experience do you have with assisting others?
Shoot, 30 years.
That's when you go on Chat GPT and say, "This is my life," and fix my resume in order to have a PA job. Because this is ridiculous.
Very much so. Getting a job within a hobby that you have, like,
Yeah.
I like sports. So I'm like, well, maybe I can be a referee. You need a certificate for that. Lord, what? So I gotta go to school to be a referee.
Yeah.
Lord, have
Oh
mercy.
my goodness. How am I gonna fit that into my schedule now?
Like, I just needed something else to do.
Yeah.
Not something else to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I was trying to get that extra income. Yeah.
Now you want me to pay for a class.
Is that That's what I don't understand either. Why do we have to pay for every damn thing?
I just get so irritated. Like the darn grocery bags. First of
Don't
all,
get me started.
in the state of California, they have stopped all plastic bags. So you know what they selling?
Brown paper bags. And they're more expensive.
Now, if I'm carrying my groceries and them cans fall about the bottom, I'm going to be pissed. Okay, so I want to go back to the topic of reality of slow seasons and get this question in, if you don't mind.
Let's go.
Okay, so how did not booking start affecting your confidence?
Good question. And I'm going to be real honest.
Please do.
So it actually affected my confidence more than I thought. Because growing up, I'm gonna just be real. Growing up, I moved almost every single year as a child until I was in 6th grade. So because of that, I learned how to be adaptable and be likable because I always had to make friends.
Yeah.
If I didn't, I wouldn't have any friends that year, you know?
Yeah.
But for the most part, I always made friends and things like that. So I was used to being likable. I was used to being thick.
Yeah.
And now I'm in this industry that don't really accept me. Like even for me, like remember when I had lost weight. And that was like the most healthiest I had ever been. So I had got down to like a size medium and I'm like, oh my God, like I've never been this like healthy and this small. And then I started going to the auditions and they was like, you still plus size. You still a big girl. We don't know if we got your size. So I was like, to hear that too, like in that time frame, you don't think it affects you. Like when you're going through it, sometimes you don't really think it's affecting you.
Yeah.
Until later on, you're like, well, damn, I done lost all this damn weight and I'm still big.
Yeah. That's how they do you. They look for, skinnier individuals, and it's very unfortunate because that's not how majority of society is shaped. Like everybody has a figure now. Everybody has a shape. No one is just straight up and down. And I feel like they just can't get over that.
I had a couple Zoom auditions and you say the first word and next. Okay, thank you. Damn. I said 3 words and you already said no, like that is discouraging. It can be really discouraging. So it definitely affects your confidence. Everybody has an ego. It definitely kind of like make your ego go, ouch, so
Definitely do.
it will definitely affect you and you got to have that faith. You got to walk with God. You got to stand in prayer. If you probably are not a believer, you going to become a believer because you're going to be by yourself. You're going to be like, Lord,
I don't know what to do.
know what to do. You sending me down this path and it's rough, so I would say don't give up, stay in your faith, keep going no matter what, even if you have to take a break. It hurts your ego, but that's okay. It affects your confidence. That's okay. Take it as a learning lesson and then keep going to see how strong you really are because you didn't give up. At the end of it, you're going to be able, like now we're able to share our stories with people and we're able to encourage people because we went through it and I'm sure we're not the only ones that
No, I know we're not.
No, baby. No, no, no. So yeah, keep going, y'all.
Please keep going. Just, you can do it.
You can.
Even when you feel like you want to give up, that's when you really have to push through
Yeah.
because the moment is right there.
But what about that? They be saying that, don't give up. It's right there. And you be like,
I mean, honestly, look, sometimes it's like, I don't want to hear that.
they say everybody made it right after their hard time. So you going through that hard time. So your winning season coming.
Like, when the season gonna come, though? Because the hard season was last season, the season before that, the season before that one. You know, how many seasons do I have to give up?
It's right there though. It's right there.
But I mean, it's there. I haven't seen it yet.
You gonna see it though.
Yeah,
It's there.
Don't keep working on it. Yeah.
Yep. Don't give up.
So let's get into stepping back without giving up. Now, I feel like I touched on it just a little bit earlier, but just resetting expectations, redefining what success actually means to you. Because it comes to a point where you actually want to do a reset because things aren't really working how I wanted to.
Yeah.
Let's start over. Let's
Yeah.
start over and figure out a different way to go about it because this way is not working.
And that goes like we were saying earlier to being in environments that are not on your path of uplifting you and inspiring you
Yeah.
to keep going. Those stay down on your dream and things like that. Such a big advocate for mental health and well-being. Like that's mostly what my podcast is about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like your mental health is so very important. And so much of us in society are programmed and taught go grind and grind. Nobody tells you to take the time to see how you're feeling, to tap into yourself, to see, am I okay? Do I actually need a break?
Yeah.
Do I need to stop for a minute? I need to stop.
Yeah.
Because I've been going for 3-5 years just straight. I'm not only just acting, I have my business, I have work, I have family, I have all of these things that are pulling me in so many different directions that I'm not centered in myself. So I think that it's very important to take that time out, whether you need 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, a month, 2 months, a year, whatever you need to feel whole again in order to be strong enough to continue following your dream.
Sometimes you do have to take a step back. It's okay. We put so much pressure on ourselves to do better, be great. And I feel like even when we are doing those things, we feel like, no, this could be better. And it just seems like it's never really enough for us. And just taking a step back and really looking at what have you actually accomplished already.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we don't do enough of because we're complaining about what we haven't done yet. But look what you've already done and accomplished.
And I have like, that's a good point because I had a lot of like my family members that I seen and they were like, oh, we see you on the internet. We see you doing your thing, living your dream. And my response was, you think I'm living my dream? That's really nice, but no, I'm still working on it, you know? But to them, they seen the success that I made. But I was in that cycle of grinding and grinding and grinding that, like you said, I couldn't even see the success that I had accomplished. I couldn't see like, maybe I am kind of living, you know?
Yeah, it's like people back home, like, oh, hey, you in LA, you doing it, you living it big. Actually, I'm not. I work 2 jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I don't even need to go into the negatives, and they're trying to shower me with a positive,
Exactly.
and I'm just immediately
negative. Sometimes you got to take that break so you can actually say, "Good job, self. Good job. Look at what I've done."
Just take that moment to just give yourself a pat on the back. Hug yourself.
Oh my gosh.
So, what changed internally once you gave yourself permission to pause?
That's a good one. You know what? Compassion to myself. I just started listening to the things I was actually saying to myself. Like you said, not paying attention to what I accomplished. And I started realizing I was saying things like, you could have did better. You could have did more. You could have did this. You should have did that. I was like, wow, I'm really saying these things to myself instead of saying, good job, Doniesha. Way to go.
Yeah.
During that break, I understood compassion. I had to stop and say, hey, be nicer to yourself. Would you say the things that you're saying to yourself to someone else? And I said, no, because usually we inspire people. That's okay. You can do it. Keep going. Like we just did that on set.
We did do that.
And at the end, the person was so grateful and said that they could not have done that without us because we were motivating, inspiring, instead of saying, you did this, you did that. We didn't do any of that. But when it comes to my internal self, I know I would say, because I even did it on set, I said, shoot, I looked at the camera. That's okay though. It's okay to make a mistake. They can edit it. But I had got in my head and then I was like, don't look at the camera, don't look at the camera, don't look at the camera. So that's when like the things that sometimes saying to myself, I would never say to someone else. And that break helped me to understand that I have to be more compassionate to myself, more encouraging to myself.
I want to move on to a win is a win. It could be about the topic today, or it can just be something in general. Win for you.
Ooh, honestly, a win for me is anytime I push myself to do something that I'm very anxious about and I'm nervous about. Pushing myself to learn something that I don't know, which can make you feel uncomfortable and it gets frustrating. So just pushing myself outside of my box and learning different things.
Nice. Good win.
What about you?
Well, I am going to say starting season 2 of Creator Struggles for Flourishing and just having guests. I mean, I did see myself doing a podcast as I've been talking about it. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it, but just having guests on is just something where it's like, wow, I feel like I've come a long way. Trying to figure out how to put the podcast together to reaching out to people to see if they would like to be a guest on. So that's my win. Just continuing to push forward with the podcast and not giving up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I want to encourage people that small wins are still wins.
And I've said that before, guys. I feel like I usually say that all the time, but always celebrate the small wins. It doesn't matter what it is. It could have been you folded your clothes, and we all know that could be a struggle. I feel like we've already touched on some good advice already, but any other advice you want to add?
Be mindful of the things you are saying to yourself, how you talk to yourself. Be mindful of your emotions. If something is placed on your heart, even if you're scared, if you're nervous, don't give up.
We're going to move on to pick a struggle. And as you guys know, it's pretty much would you rather. Let's get into the questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's see if she's ready, people. All right. First question. Would you rather take a steady job with flexibility or grind full time with uncertainty?
That's a good one. You know what? Truthfully, I've had the steady part. And right now I'm in the season of grinding uncertainty. And it's a different kind of feeling.
Oh, yeah.
It's scary. It's exciting.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm being honest with myself and nobody owns me.
Would you rather book small roles consistently or wait for one big break?
I would rather book small roles consistently because by doing that, you are practicing,
Mm-hmm.
you are learning, you're networking. You never know who you're going to meet on set. And you might go for the small role and they say, hey, never mind, we wanted you to be this person. You look just like what I envisioned. And that's happened to me. I had like a background and then he was like, no, I want you to be the bartender. So you never know. So I would definitely choose the smaller roles consistently over waiting for my big break.
Yeah, I agree. It may never come because you're just waiting and you're not out there networking, being on set, getting small opportunities.
And what are you doing while you're waiting?
Yeah.
What if the big opportunity comes and you haven't practiced? You're not ready for the opportunity when it comes.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Would you rather perform nervous or perform numb?
Ooh, Jesus, nervous. Yeah. Numb sound like what they put in your drink.
I feel like in terms of like kind of not having any sort of feeling. You just get up there, you do your set,
Oh
and just
no.
be done with it.
No. Yeah. You know what too? I think a part of this whole like industry and thing is that adrenaline rush, because it gives you that, oh my God, everybody looking at me.
Yeah.
Like, and then you push past it and you go from, hi, everybody to hello, everybody, So I definitely would pick the nervousness because that nervousness sometimes will kick something else and you'll be like, dang, I did pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
And then, like with anything, I feel like too, if you get comfortable at something, you're bound to make a mistake.
Yeah.
You're going to make a mistake regardless. But when you just like nonchalant, like, I don't get no kind of feelings from this, it's like, what's the point?
Right. Who's your favorite comedian?
My God. My favorite comedian, you gonna make me pick. So really, really, really all-time favorite is Richard Pryor. When I used to do stand-up, I would listen to him all day to get myself in that mood.
Yeah.
But also, I love Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Eddie
But
Murphy's
but Eddie Murphy studied Richard Pryor. It's kind of hard. Like I can't really pick between the two, but those two, hands down, really opened the door for Black comics.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Murphy, I used to love him because every time he went up on stage to tell comedy, oh, he was dressed to the T.
Yeah. That red suit
So that inspired me. Every time I would go tell jokes, I always got dressed to the T because I was like, I want people to remember me like Eddie Murphy in this great outfit, So I love him. He's hands down, he's one of the best. Richard Pryor, the best. Like those are my two favorites.
I love comedy. I thought about getting into stand up, but I feel like I can be very long winded and it takes me a minute to get to the point because I want to tell A through Z.
Don't worry. When you're standing on stage and you got everybody's eyes looking at you, you're going to see them going like,
wrap it up.
Get to the end. The point is, but you know how I actually got into comedy? Was because I was in acting class and everybody used to always tell me I was funny. But think about doing stand up because I was funny. I did stand up to overcome my fear of performing in front of people. That is why I did stand up.
I didn't know that.
Because I was like, what's going to really help me to feel vulnerable in order to express myself? Comedy, like it doesn't get more vulnerable than standing on the stage, just you. Like I've done improv and stuff and it's fun because you're in a team, but when it's just you, you're in control of that.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's really going to help me overcome my fear. You're really good. You should keep going. I was like, should I? Well, look at God.
Opening doors all the time. But that is it for this episode. Again, thank you, Doniesha, for coming and gracing us Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you very much. Tell the good people where they can find you.
You can find me on all social media platform as a Curvy Guru. Also, check out my podcast on Spotify. It's called GGWO. And you can find me in, I'm joking. Okay, don't fuss.
Find me in the club.
No. um, so yeah, just all social media platform as a Curvy Guru or Doniesha, Doniesha.
Period. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, send an email, do all that you can. Please, you know the deal. And remember, sometimes the win is simply advocating for yourself. All right, my good people, it is time to go. Tisk, tisk, tisk. But I will see you next week. See you
Bye.
later.